Hey guys, welcome back to this new video, and in this video let's learn about loops in programming. We have two loops basically, which is for and while loop. A loop is something we do repeatedly, okay? If we want some output repeatedly, if we want to do some code repeatedly, we can use loops. If it's based on count, like if I want to print hello world 10 times, it's based on count, right? So if it's based on count, we use for loops, and if it's based on condition, we use while loop. What is range in Python? Okay, range is nothing but it provide a sequence of numbers. Let's say if we give range of 10, this means it's a sequence of numbers starting from 0 to 9, okay, not including 10, up to 9, okay. So if you print that, we will see that thing only, like 0 to 10, okay, but not including the 10, okay. 0 to 9 actually. So if you want to see the numbers, we can convert this into a list. If we can do that like this, if we change it into list, and if we print that, it will show what it is, like it's 0 to 9, you can see, right? So if I give number as 50, I will see it's 0 to 49, okay, you can see here. So we can specify the starting index also, like let's say we want to start from 5, it will start from 5 and end up to 49, okay. If I run this, I will see numbers from 5 to 49, and you can set up a third parameter, which is steps, okay, how many steps you want to give. If we give 2 steps, it will skip one on numbers between. If I run this, you will see 5 7 9 between, it will skip one number, okay. It's basically for steps, how many steps we want to jump every time we print a number, okay. If we give 3, it will jump accordingly, right? So this is what the range is. So this is we used to provide count for the for loop, okay. Let's say we want to print hello world 10 times, okay. So for that we can use for I in range 10, okay. I said 10 numbers, but it will not include 10, but it is 10 digits because it starts from 0, right? So counting in 0, it shows it's 10 numbers, totally 10 digits. So if I print hello world here, it will show 10 times. See, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, okay. So this is how we use range here. So I is nothing but it is referring to the number in the list, like in the range, okay. I starts from 0 to 9. So if I print I, you will know. Let me print near, like adjacent of hello world. Let me print I here and separate it using the comma, so it will show I. So I is nothing but the range values, okay. So here we can give any other variable also, like a, and we can change it here as a. It is just a variable name we declaring. We can give any name, like a number, like that, okay, num, like that, okay. So that's not a problem. So this is how the range function works, like range function used in for loop, and this is how the for loop works. If we want to do something repeatedly, we can do it, okay. We can nest any code we want, like if condition, like that. If a equal to 5, let's say 5, if it's 5, we can say print 5, okay. So if I run this, it will print only 5, because we are not printing anything, like only if it is 5 we are printing. So one time only we will achieve 5, so it is printing 5, okay. Break and continue, okay. Break is nothing but we have to break something, like break out of the loop, okay. So it usually breaks after the range completed, right? So it usually breaks when a is 9 in this condition, right? Because we gave 10 here, and if it reaches 9 it will break out of the loop, right? This is what happening, okay? But if we include break, we can break in middle also, like if a is 5, just break like that. So let me print a and hello world here as the before example, as a past example. So if I print this, a will be first 0, and it will be 1, and it will be 2, and it will be 3, and it will be 4, and when it is equal to 5, it will check in this condition will pass, and it will break out of the loop. It will not reach up to 10. So if I run this, it will give 5 times, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here we can include comment also, like breaking out of loop, breaking out of loop, okay, like that. So let me drag this a little bit. So you can see here, if I run this, you can see it's breaking out of the loop. So this is how it works, okay? This is how the for loop works, and this is how the break statement works. So if you want to stop the loop in the middle, we can give a condition like this using the if class, and we can mention here, okay? It will, once it sees the break, it will run out of the loop, okay? It will stop the loop, okay? So now the second statement is continue. So continue is a little bit different from break statement, okay? So if it sees continue, it will not execute these lines, okay? It will directly jump into the next loop, okay? Let's say if you run this, you will understand. It will print all the things except the middle thing. Like when it was 5, it is printing breaking out of loop, but it is not printing hello world. You cannot see the 5 here, right? So it is not printing. So let me take this out of the program. So if I run this, you will see there will be no 5 here. There is no 5, and there is no 5th hello world. We are directly jumped into the 6th hello world, right? So this is how the continue works. If I give something, it will skip the rest of the code. If you print upside, it will not skip. It will skip only after the continue statement, which is inside the for loop, right? So break statement will completely exit the loop. So this is how the break and continue statements work in looping, okay? So this is how the for loop works, and we can now see the while loop. And while loop is something different from for loop. So if you don't know how much time we have to print hello world, so we can give like a condition, and while the condition is true, it will print. Let's say we are giving condition as I is less than 5, okay? If we give like this, we have to provide I, right? I is a variable. So if we provide I as 0, so it starts from 0. When I is less than 5, execute this, like right there. So if I print I here, it is less than 5, so we are not changing I, it will print. If I run this, it will print. It keep on repeating that, because I is not changing. I is always 0, and I is always less than 5. So it will be an infinite loop. So I'm gonna stop this. So it will be an infinite loop. So to stop this, we have to increment I or decrement I every time we run the loop. Let's say we are incrementing it by one times, okay? First time when we get into the loop, it will be 0, and second time it will be incremented with 1, so it will be 1, and it will be 2, it will be 3, and it will be 4, and when it is equal to 5, it is no more less than 5, right? So this condition fails, and it will break out of the loop, and it will end the program here. Let's say here we are giving as end of the program, so it will end. So if I run this, it will run 5 times. See, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 times, and after that, when it reaches 5, when I reaches 5, it reaches end of the program. So if I print I here, let's say I'm printing I here, it will be 5 because the last increment is 5, right? So finally we incremented the fourth I, like I as 4. So finally we incremented by 1, so it will be turned as 5. So if I print I here, it will be 5. You can see here it will be 5. So we are just incrementing the I value. Okay, in the for loop it will be automatically incrementing. Okay, because we are giving inside the range. Okay, it is checking the range value only. So here I is directly. So why we are giving I here? Like there are more variable. Why we are not giving a? Like a commonly used variable is like a variable name is I, because I denotes as an index. Okay, index is nothing but when we are using arrays and other data structure, we commonly denote each element's position as index only. So it is commonly denoted as index only. So that's why we are using I here. So whenever we are using a loop, we will be most commonly using I and j as our variables, because since it's a normal convention, because it's a short form for index. That's why. So this is how the while loop works. In while loop also we can break out of the loop. Let's say here we are giving when I is equal to 3, we have to break. Okay, so now we will be breaking out of loop fastly. Okay, so the I will be 3. Okay, because when it is 3, it is breaking out and it is not incremented, right? It is breaking out here and it is not incremented again, so the I will be equal to 3 only. So here also 3, it is here also 3, because printing here. Okay, right? So this is how, if we use continue here, it will run into an infinite loop. Why? Because we are incrementing the I value after the continue statement only. When it sees 3, what it will do, it will continue the program, right? So it will skip these lines, and that's why the I will not be incremented, and I will be 3 again, and it will continue again, and I will be 3 again, it will continue again. So it keep on running. It will be an infinite loop. If I run this, it will be an infinite loop with 3, because I will be 3 forever, because we are not incrementing the I again, because we have continue statement here. So this is what the continue statement is. So we can use continue statement and break statement wherever we want in the loop. So this is how the while loop and for loop works in Python. So these are the basic important loops in Python and some other programming languages. Some other programming languages may have do while loop like that. So it works little bit different, but basically it's all part of while and for loop. So this is how the looping works. So thank you guys.